Okay everyone, so today is day 3 of the road trip and getting those parts. The owner is not going to be at the shop until 5 in the afternoon, so that means my whole day just opened up. I'm going to search around on Google Maps, see what is in the area that we can check out, hit up a cool lake, go for a swim, make the most of today. I also want to try and hit up Walmart or something just to get a couple things for living out of the Jeep, like I want to get nets for the side with maybe magnets. I can get some sort of breeze instead of just the dry heat. I also realized that I'm missing a key tool for being on the road, and that is gasket maker. I do need to switch out a water pump or whatever. I don't have any gasket maker with me, so I'm going to pick that up as well today. If it is still overheating, I can do roadside service and get it working out. It should. Hey everyone, so right now I'm just canoeing down here. I got a lead that there was a old car that was pushed into the river somewhere, so I want to see if I can find it and show you guys. The guy said he didn't really know what it is, so kind of more intriguing, I guess. And yeah, just enjoying such a great day. Look at that, guys, we found it. This thing has to be from the 40s and it's upside down. Let's see how close I can get. Look how gnarly that freaking root system is for this tree. Hey everyone, so I didn't want to stay too long there because even though it was really cool, there was actually a decent amount of people just on the other side of the river, and it's not that big of a river, so I didn't want to ruin their day or upset them or whatever. So, but that was crazy. I think it's a Chevrolet from the 40s at the latest. I asked some of the locals on my way back. Apparently it's been there for over 40 years and it's no longer there, but there used to be a road that passed on that side of the river, and on the other side of the road was a salvage yard. So I'm guessing it's probably one of the cars from that yard and it got pushed in by like teenagers or something, and now it's just a tourist attraction for locals and people who know about it. So one of the locals said that the tree that's over it now was never there before, so that's why it's upside down. That tree got uprooted by like just land shifting, I guess, and that flipped the whole thing over on top of it being in the water, which is like crazy. But yeah, that was my adventure for the morning of day 3. I was able to find a new good friend who let me borrow his canoe and go off and do all those cool fun things, and I just got to experience the area like a local. Yeah, so the river I was just on is called the Clyde River, and apparently it goes like really far out and it loops all the way around the area. So I just went maybe like 10 minutes down and back, which was a heck of a fun time. Alright guys, so I'm back at the shop from taking the morning off and going canoeing. Part 1, have fun, that's done. Part 2 is fixing Boomerang, where I can drive it without it overheating. Past 7 minutes. Part 3 is get the other Wagoneer, and then that way I can get the rest of the parts I need, and then I can head out. Hopefully I can be home late tonight. I also want to show you some of the parts that I'm getting now, because I need to wait for Boomerang to cool down so I can start taking the water pump off. He gave me this book for free. This is basically one of the many books he has. He had a duplicate, so he said I could have this one. It's really cool. This is definitely going in the Wagoneer. I don't need them yet, but I do have taillight replacement pieces. I wrote a couple forms just in case I break one trying to take it off. Now I do have 4 hubcaps. I also have a spare tire that also matches. The actual tire we need to swap out with one over here, which is what we're going to be doing later today, because this thing is pretty mint. There's no cracks or anything like that. It has a really good tread. So for me, this is the icing on the cake, the OEM radio that came with the Wagoneer. We can get rid of that awful aftermarket one, slap that thing in. I haven't talked to him about this yet, but I noticed he has a pretty decent cassette tape collection. Like, all right guys, so it's kind of in a little bit of a dilemma here, because I need to install the water pump and I also need to install the thermostat, but I didn't have the radiator yet because it wasn't in the store. They had to have someone drive out. So I was kind of debating, do I install the first two, then go to the parts store, grab the radiator, and then install that, or would I have enough time? And as I'm sitting here munching on my chips, they just called, the radiator's in. So I'm gonna quickly run out, grab it. Let's get to it. Freaking hate driving a Jeep like this, because it's like, I don't want it to overheat. Like every red light, I'm shutting it off just to try and keep it as cold as possible. Thankfully, it's not boiling over now for an 11-minute drive. And I'm right outside the parts store. Just picked up that radiator. I also grabbed a rad cap because why not? Time to head back to the shop. Look at all the stuff I bought. Holy crap. All this is unexpected. Road trip fun. Overheating really bad within like 10 minutes of driving. I have a 5-hour drive ahead of me and I really don't want to be on the side of the road overheating, doing damage to my engine. So I figure, you know what? I'm just gonna switch it all up. It doesn't hurt to do it, it just hurts the pocket. I wanna make sure this thing can last a lot longer, a lot more kilometers to put on it. One day I'm gonna be doing a road trip all the way across Canada on this thing, so it's kind of a two-edged sword because I need all the parts and time is of the essence, and now I have to wait for it to cool down from overheating again, which is gonna take longer than normal because it's overheating. I'm happy I have all the parts. Now I can just let this thing cool down. In a little bit, I can finally put it all together and cross my fingers that it doesn't overheat. If it does, I'm gonna be amazed because I'm switching out everything. If I had more time, like if I was in a different situation, I would maybe just switch out the water pump and see if it solves it, or I'd switch out the radiator and see if it solves it. I don't want to overstay my bounds here at this shop. Like they've already been, Jared's been like amazingly nice. Because of that, I figure, you know what, I'll just get it all. All of it was unexpected. My Jeep Boomerang was running great up until yesterday where I just decided to overheat. Also, it's 40 plus today and yesterday. And in the country, I don't know, it's just hot, man. Like right now, let that cool down. I can cool down myself a little bit so I can get the things that I actually came here for, because I didn't come here to buy stuff from a parts store and take up some guy's shop space. So right now it's about 10:30 and I've been kind of wrenching with this for the better part of the day. One of the big challenges I had was some parts like the radiator, the new radiator, that didn't even come until 3:30. It's kind of been a dance trying to get everything figured out. However, I'm hoping that by the end of tomorrow, which is going to be, I think, day 4 of the trip, but day 3 in the garage, I can just focus on the Wagoneer, getting the final pieces I need to make it the perfect trip that I can make it. Even though all of this was unexpected, it's kind of part of the Jeep life where you just enjoy every problem as they arise and you kind of make the most of the situation. I'm very blessed because I'm here and I have a shop and I have all these tools and I have new friends that are willing to help me. I'm not in a bad situation. I'm actually pretty fortunate that things have unfolded the way they have. And I know moving forward, not only with the Wagoneer, but with any Jeep, I have like a whole network here where part of the day we're working on someone else's Jeep, just because that's kind of the atmosphere here. It's really, really cool. So this is how the Jeep's looking at the moment. It's crazy how big of a hole there is. Basically, the Jeep had the straight 6 and the straight 4, or the 2.5 liter and the 4 liter. And it's the same engine bay, the same radiator. When I went to get the new one, the lady at the parts desk was like, that's strange, there's no difference. And I guess that kind of makes sense because the only main difference is the shroud on the 6-cylinder is a lot shorter than it is here. Like this engine takes up like half the engine bay at most. So I have a ton of wrenching to do. As I get through it, I'll update you on how the work goes. Enough of me talking though. Work montage in 3, 2, 1. I forgot to install this pulley, so I just pulled everything off. Here it is. It is late, so I'm not thinking 100% right now, but you know, whatever percentage I'm at, it's working. Everyone, so here's an update. There's one last thing I need to do before I put coolant in it, and that is the main hose that connects from the bottom. Then I can fill it up with new coolant, reconnect the battery, double check everything, turn the key, hope that she, one, turns on, because that's a victory all on itself, and then two, I won't know this till tomorrow because I'm not doing it tonight because I'm way too tired to drive. But tomorrow, when the sun is beating, I'm going to be driving this thing about. Hopefully it doesn't overheat, because that, no. So I just poured some antifreeze in, and as you can tell, nothing is dripping. I'm gonna take that as a sign, a green light. I'm gonna put as much in as I possibly can, plug in the battery, turn it on, and check that it's not leaking again when it's running under pressure, and then I will call it a night, and I will see you tomorrow, day 4. Okay, so really quickly, tip to pouring. Most people hold it and then they just pour it in like that, and that's wrong. You don't want to do that. It's bad. Not good flow. It gets all pulsating as it's going in. What you want to do instead is you want to hold it backwards, and then you want to pour it in this way. And the reason why you want to do it like that is as the coolant or fluid or whatever it is, as it's leaving the container, you're giving an air pocket at this top section here, so the air can go in at a smooth rate. It will be very smooth and you will not spill it. So it's almost 2 in the morning now, and I just filled it up and most of it leaked out, and it's because the gasket that went around my thermostat wasn't good enough, so I pulled all that crap off, and now I'm gonna reseal it. I'm gonna clean it up a bit first. Take 2. I originally cleaned off where the radiator inlet hose went into the block, but I never cleaned off the other end. And you can tell, like, over here this stuff is new, but over here all of this stuff is really old. So that's why it leaked. I just simply forgot a step. That's okay. I was able to figure it out, and now I can redo it properly. So there's a new water pump, new thermostat, all new gaskets for it, new radiator, and new rad cap, and I'm having it run for another 10 minutes, and if it's not overheating, then it's a good job done. Okay, now the second half of all the parts are out in the field, which kind of looks like this. It's already hot and I just got out here. I'll say this though, today is windy, and having that breeze come on by is definitely so nice. So that gold one right there with the hood up, that's the one that we're gonna get running and put into the shop so we can take stuff out of it. Over here, I noticed that as the day progresses, the shade casts on this side of the Jeeps. So I try to have it all in the shade, but a box full of stuff. Dual fan radiator. I'm probably gonna get this as my backup. Underneath it, I have the red carpet for the rear trunk, which, to be honest, I didn't think I was gonna get. That's just because he had this guy here, which is a new addition, kind of this unfortunate story behind it, but at least some of the parts are gonna be used again in a second life, so that's not too bad. So other things I got fresh valve covers. A lot of the trim pieces that my Jeep just didn't come with. It's gonna be really interesting putting it all back together. My Jeep also came with a paint match. And what I'm thinking is, out of all the Jeeps here, only one of them was red. So I took a lot of fittings off of the beige interiors. So I might just paint them with that can so it matches and call it a day. But I'm really happy with how today's kind of unfolding. I'm gonna go back to the shop where it's nice and cool and have a light snack, work on Boomerang, and then come back out here, get the golden Wagoneer in there, and get the last little bit of parts I need. Then I can hit the road. Hey everyone, so I am loading up the Jeep and I'm gonna head out very soon. I was just gonna wait for Jared to get back so I can pay him his money. I'm just leaving Perth now on day 4. It was really tough leaving. I kind of wanted to stay, like I could spend my whole summer here and have a great time. Like the people here are amazing, super friendly. They fed me, they gave me a place to stay, and they helped me get parts for this Wagoneer, and they're interested to see how it unfolds. So I'm all packed up, ready to go. I have to get home tonight because I cannot sleep in Boomerang as there's literally no space. Yeah, my shirt is so dirty. And my hat, and my face, and my beard. But yeah, all the parts take up all the space. So I need to get home. See you guys later. Alright guys, so I'm on my way home, and I just wanted to kind of say something that was on my mind. Some of you might be like, John, why did you waste all this money getting a new radiator and water pump and thermostat, and rad cap and all this stuff? And here's my mindset to it. I'm going to be doing a lot of far and long and consistent road trips in this Jeep, and I want it to be reliable where I'm not having to take a bunch of spare parts with me. Second thing, when I was in Perth, everyone there, especially Jared, has been so nice to me in so many ways that I can't even I was actually taken back from it. And knowing that, okay, if one thing was wrong and I can just leave the rest of the parts there, maybe they can have a use for them, is like one of the ways that I can kind of pay it forward a little bit. Very small way compared to how generous they have been for me. On countless occasions, day after day, helping me out with everything I need. It felt like the right call to make, so I made it, and I'm happy that I did that because hopefully they can find some use for it as well.